to discuss about the range and standard deviation. So what is the difference between them? They are the measurement of statistics, dispersion. So we are now discussing about the parameters of statistics, and range is also very important statistical measurement because it describes the difference between the higher value and the lower value of the data. And suppose we have a very large amount of data. In that case, someone asks you how to find out the range. So suppose you have like a very large, suppose simple example like this, and this is your lower value, and this is your higher value. So the range will be, it is the difference between higher value minus lower value. We can write the definition like this. Range means it is a difference between higher value and lower value. The smallest item of the observation, highest item of the observation, first find out that, find the difference between the highest and the lowest, that will be your range. So it is the very smallest like simplest method for analyzing variation. Then what is the absolute value? This range is always known as absolute range. This is your absolute part. So what is relative range? Relative range is absolute range divided by H plus L. In some books like L is given for largest value, and S is given for smallest value. So you can write according to that also. So you can define L is the largest value, S is the smallest value. So in that case you can find out the relative range will be L minus S by L plus S. You can write L minus S by L plus S. This is your relative range. You can define the formula like this. So this is about the range. And what are the merits and demerits of range? Because in merits you can find that is like amount of data it is given. You don't worry about how to calculate range value. It is always a measurement of dispersion, and it's a very significant algebraic item, and it is also oscillates between the larger value to smallest value, because you can see if you find the difference, then the difference value will lie between the data that is given in our question. And what are the demerits? Because it is not like indefinite data only you can find. If the data is like a finite value, then only you can find what is the largest value and what is the smallest value. So it depends upon the extreme values. So it is based on the observations. So it is affected by sampling fluctuations. So these are the drawback of finding the range value. What are its uses? Because it is used in for quality standard measurement in statistics. These are the very important topic for quality measurement, software development, life cycle. In that case also you will be getting the applications of statistics. Fluctuations, the like prices in our market, they are fluctuating every day, like property prices or general accessories, home accessories, electronics equipment. The prices are like rising, and then also they are getting low. Some prices are getting low, it's not like maximum. So these are the uses of range value. So you can, if you purchased like your mobile phone, like you are very familiar with Android mobile phone. Nowadays various companies are they are in the market. So if you go to a shop and you want to a Android mobile phone, so first you have to describe that is your range, like 10,000. Below 10,000, show me the mobiles of various companies, latest design with large pixel camera and etc, etc. And below 8,000, show me the company, show me the mobile phones. So this is the range, like you can afford that amount of definite value. So that's why you are asking that within that price you have to find, you have to purchase the mobile phone. And then how to day-to-day living, also everything if you want to purchase for your requirement of your daily day basis, then you can see that the range data is quite important. So suppose someone asks you, find the range between, find the coefficient of range. This relative range will be absolute range by absolute range by L plus S, and the coefficient of range will also be L minus S by L plus S. This is also known as coefficient of range value. This is also known as coefficient of range. Suppose the data is given here, and the number of questions are given, the class interval data is given, and the number of students are given. So highest data you have to mention and lowest data you have to mention. Suppose like some class interval data is there, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. This is the class interval data. And then some frequency is also given, like 4, 5, 6, 3, 4 again. So what is the coefficient of range here, somebody asked. Then the lowest larger value in the class interval, largest value you can write, the smallest value you can write, and then difference are equal to larger value minus smallest value. The larger value will be your 50, the smallest value is 0, so you can write range is your absolute measurement, that is coming 50. And then what is if I like coefficient of range, somebody asked, then coefficient of range, then n minus s by L plus s. So 50 minus 0 divided by 50 plus 0, that equal to 1. So here we can see the coefficient of range is getting your 1. So this is all about your range. Now you will come to know about the very important part of statistics. It's a very important measurement, that is we will discuss the various formulas of standard deviation. So what is the meaning of standard deviation? What are its uses, what are the merits, and what are the demerits? The merits means it is based on all the observations. Standard deviation is nothing but it is based on all the observations. So it's a very important parameter in statistics, because it is based on the homogeneity of the items that is given in our computation or data observations. Because the data should be like somebody asks you about the find the weight of the machine or the entrance result of a student. So this is quite difficult. The data should be homogeneous, should be similar, whether it is mentioned in one unit, then only you can call it to find out the unit of standard deviation. Then standard deviation is the least affected by fluctuations by sampling. It is reliable, it is dependable upon the various kind of data calculations for important verification and data authentication process. And then demerits. What are the demerits of standard deviation? Rather it is a very important part, but it's also very difficult to compute. Somewhere the formulas are quite complicated. So this is very simple to understand, and it gives the more weightage in case of extreme values, and it consumes more time to calculate, and what are the uses of standard deviation. Before entering to calculative formulas, you have to discuss about the merits and demerits of standard deviation. Then uses will be, it is widely used in biological studies. It is normal, like the pandemic diseases are going on since January in our country, and you can see from standard deviation you can measure the amount of people they are affected in a particular city on a particular time, in a particular month, particular time period, what was the reason, what are the causes, and how much are recovered, how much are not getting well. So all these things you can measure it by getting the standard deviation value, which is deviating from normal, which has more standard deviation, the data is deteriorating more and more. Which has less standard deviation, that means the data is more accurate, means the more people are recovered, the more positive news is there. So the standard deviation will be less, then that is the more positive news. You can understand. Now the working rule, the data is simple. If the data is very simple, formula for calculating standard deviation. Somehow if a frequency is the given and x, the normal data, that is also given, then how to calculate the standard deviation formula. Generally the working formula is summation f x minus x bar whole square divided by summation f. This is your sigma square, which is known as variance. So once you get, then you can calculate standard deviation, that is sigma square root over, that means variance root over, you can get standard deviation value. This is a very general and basic formula for calculation of standard deviation. So n means summation f, somewhere it is also written as n, and it is also denoted as summation f. The frequency, you have to add all the frequencies, then only you can get the value of capital N. And x bar means the mean of data. From the data given, you can calculate the average value x bar, and then also you can calculate the x minus x bar value from the column, the data itself, then only you can calculate some standard deviation. Then also you can calculate the another formula, formula 2. This is your formula 1. Another formula, useful formula, it's very useful formula. Sigma equal to summation fd square by n minus summation fd by n whole square, then root over. What is d? It is x minus a, and a is your assumed mean. D means, x minus a means deviation. So from deviation, from all the deviation of each value from its mean or assumed mean, it is denoted as deviation, and from this deviation, adding all this deviation, first get the sum, then only by this formula also you can calculate standard deviation. Now the very simple formula is, you can also calculate number 3 formula, summation d square by n, where d equal to x minus x bar. D is known as simple deviation from the dot, x bar deviation. There is no frequency is given, very simple data, no frequency is given. For very simple data. So this formula is useful. There are 3 formulas for calculating standard deviation, and if summation d square by n means you have to, the values of x are given in the question, and then you have to calculate like x minus x bar. Then suppose I am just giving the example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your x column, and suppose you have to find out d, deviation, x minus x bar. So what is x bar? X bar is your mean. So that will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 5. 15 by 5 you are getting, so the value is you are getting is 3. So D deviation will be 1 minus 3, 2 minus 3, 3 minus 3, 4 minus 3, 5 minus 3. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So this is all about the deviation part. This is the deviation column, and then you have to add it. All the D you are calculating. So you are getting minus 3 plus 3. So summation D also you are getting here, it is 0. What is the standard deviation value? Summation D square. You have to calculate summation D square. So summation D is not required. You have to find out D square. D square in case first column, first variable x, that will you are getting 4, minus 1 ka square root 1, 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. So summation D square will be 5 plus 1, 6, that is equal to 10. So summation D square you are getting n. So that will be, the sigma will be summation D square by n root over. Now standard deviation equals to, according to formula, sum D square by n root over. So 10 divided by 5 root over, it is root 2, which is equal to 1.414, or you can take it another value also, up to 3 decimals we have taken. So standard deviation value for this simple data you are getting 1.414. This is all about your the very random data. You can calculate the standard deviation value. Next you come to, if there is some group data like class interval data, in that case how you can calculate standard deviation value, which is a very important topic while calculating the statistical parameters, statistical dispersion. Standard deviation plays a very important role while you are dealing with statistical investigations. So first the class interval data is given that like this, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. A problem of how to calculate standard deviation. If there is a, like, it's a very fantastic process to calculate, and it's a very generalized method, so that you can calculate standard deviation on each and every kind of problem. There is a class interval observation data that is given 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. It is continuous data is given here, and the frequency for each of the interval also it is given. So you can write on your copy that these are the class interval data, and this is the frequency that is mentioned for each of the distinct intervals. Then I have already told you, in everywhere if there is a class interval data, to calculate mean or like median, so you have to calculate first the midpoint. What is the midpoint formula? You know that 0 plus 10 by 2 you are getting 5, 10 plus 20 by 2 you are getting 15, 20 plus 30 by 2 you are getting 25, 30 plus 40 by 2 you are getting 35, 40 plus 50 by 2 you are getting 45, 50 plus 60 by 2 getting 55, 60 plus 70 by 2 getting 65, 70 plus 80 by 2 you are getting 75. Now how to calculate the next column? First you have to calculate x bar. So x bar, or you can calculate, or you can get the deviation value by assuming mean method also. X bar you can calculate by this method, summation fx by summation f. This is the very basic formula to calculate the average or mean value, which is your actual mean or actual average. But if you calculate assumed mean, so instead of x bar you can take assumed mean of like any value of x from x column. You can take any mid value of x column and name it as assumed mean. So capital A is your assumed mean. Any of the value you can take, like suppose I am taking 35 is your A. 35 I am taking as your assumed value. Then what is the deviation? 5 minus 35 and 15 minus 35, 25 minus 35, 35 minus 35, 45 minus 35, 55 minus 35, 65 minus 35, 75 minus 35. So deviation will be calculated like this. like you can calculate here minus 30, then minus 20, minus 10, it is 0, it is 10, 20, 30, 40. And d square also you can get here 900, and then it is 400, and then you are getting 100. Next is your 0, next is your 100, 400, 900, 1600. So this is the column of d square. You can see first finding out d, then you are calculating also d square, then you calculate fd. Fd means d is your minus 30 into 6, so that will be minus 180. And it is minus 20 into 10, that will be minus 200. Minus 10 into 20, that will be also minus 200. 40 into 0, that will be 0. 30 into 10, that will be 300. 20 into 20, that will be 400. 30 into 10, that will be 300. 40 into 4, that will be 160. So this is about your FD. Then find out FD square. 6 into 900, you will be getting 5400. 400 into 10, you can calculate 4000. 100 into 20, that will be 2000. Next is your 0. Then 30 into 300, that will be your 9000. 400 into 20, that will be 8000. 300 into 10, that will be 3000. 160 into 4, that will be 640. So this is all about your FD square column. For calculating standard deviation in this way, you have to calculate class interval, then frequency it will be given. You have to calculate the midpoint, then deviation from assumed mean for each of the x, and then find d square, then find FD, then find FD square. Then you can calculate summation of f. Summation of f, sum of all frequencies, which is very important value in every statistical parameter calculation. 16, 20, 36, 76, 106, 126, 136, and it is 140. So this is summation of f is 140. And find out summation of FD, which is necessary for calculation, and then 700,000, 1160, 1160 minus 580. So you can calculate 580, that will be 580. And then like here FD square, you can calculate like 17, 20,000, 20,640 minus 11,400. So we will be getting 9240. So summation FD square will be getting 9240. This is your summation FD square. This is your summation FD, and this is your summation F. So how you can calculate standard deviation? By using this formula, summation FD square by n minus summation FD by n whole square. Now you can calculate these values from this table. Just take the value from the table and put the values in the formula. Summation FD square, you are getting 9240.